Just after I was born, 11 months later, my mom passed on. Actually sit on this chair and say, I did it, I made it. So and also I'd like to say I am so sorry to Lelo. Dumela Kazi, welcome back to the cafe. Libito laka KK. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning Sabi, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. On this video, I'll be telling you why I left you in limbo. Why did I disappear for over a month without letting you know? A lot of you were asking me, what happened to you? Oopi. What's wrong? Is there anything wrong? I'm getting worried and all of those things. And I could tell that you guys care. Or must I say some of you care? I don't know. I don't know how to put it, but I understand that obviously if you are watching a channel and the next thing someone is not pitching up and they did not even explain, you will get worried on your side. So I'm gonna explain each and everything on this video, and I am still saying I'm so sorry that I did not let you know when I took off. All right, so without wasting any more time, if you'd like to hear more about this one, please do stick around. Let's get into this one. So a couple of weeks before I took a hiatus, a 1 month and 2 weeks hiatus, I also took a 2 weeks hiatus, and I did not tell you at all. And I came back, I made a video, and I was telling you that there is a project that I'm busy with back in the Bundus in the Eastern Cape. And I could not tell you at that moment. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit of my story, just a little bit. I'm not gonna go on and on and on and on. There's a lot to tell about me, but on this one, it has nothing to do with all the things that happen and all of those things. It has to do with what is going to be revealed on this video. So I told you that I was busy with the project, and obviously yes, I was busy with the project, and I am still a bit busy with that project. So here we go. My story is I was born just after I was born, 11 months later, my mom passed on. So my grandmother from my paternal side took me in, obviously, as her own. My father was still alive when my mom and my dad got married. They were still young. My dad was working in Joburg, and my mom was a kind of a stay-home mom at that time when they had me. So she dies, and after dying, my grandmother takes me in. And when my grandmother took me in, obviously I had to live with my grandmother full time, and she had to raise me like her own. At that time, I had my aunt who is 4 years older than me, so we were both young, very young. And so my grandmother had to take care of me and had to take care of her children, because my grandmother has got like almost 13 children. I cannot count now. Almost 13 children. So she had to take care of those children, including me. So I won't lie to you, I was raised in a poor background. We had this little house. It was not little, it was just an okay house. And also on top of it, I just have to throw it in that as much as we were poor, that woman was hustling 100%, and we never went to bed hungry. And my grandfather was around as well, but my grandfather was a cheater and also was a drunkard. So obviously, technically, he was not there fully raising me. My grandmother was raising me single-handedly, while my grandfather was in the house as well, working and all of those things. But it was difficult for him to actually buy stuff in the house because he had children outside and all of those things. Anyway, I digress. So I always, because this woman, this strong woman, this lovely, lovable woman raised me, and she never got tired. she raised me as her last born. I was her last born, and even today, I'm still her last born. I even struggle to call her granny, like directly. I always call her mom, and I always promised her, and I always said to myself that whenever, if I can study and study hard and go to varsity and get a good job, I'm going to make sure this woman gets a new house. So our house was literally falling apart, especially recently. It was literally falling apart, and I was like getting stressed in my life that, oh my gosh, my life is moving really, really well on my side, and my grandmother is actually having a house that is falling apart. And obviously, in order for you to do a project whereby you're building a house, you need to plan. And also, I live in Cape Town. I don't live in Stegspruit in the Eastern Cape, so that means you need to rent, or you need to buy a house. You've got your own life. I've got a partner and all of those things. You've got your own life that you need to nurture first before you can actually nurture something else. And also, before I jump straight into whatever we're talking about, I just want to say, before you're getting married, if you have promised your mom to, or you've promised whoever to build them a house and whatever, please try to build that house first before you go out and actually start your own life. Because if you start your own life, you've got this life that you need to maintain, and you've got this other life on the other side that you also need to maintain. It gets to be very financial straining. So your budget it gets to be strained a lot, especially if you are a 9 to 5 person. You don't have businesses and all of those things. It gets to be really, really, really strenuous to maintain both sides. So I promised my grandmother that, you know what, when I get a job and everything is fine, I'm going to build you a house. And so the reason why I decided to take a hiatus, it was a sudden thing. In the villages, you get builders, and you get people who are chancers, and a lot of chancers are a lot around there. And you give them work, and you say, okay, this is what I want you to build, and all of those things. And the next thing, they are building, and they are on and off because you are far. You have someone to check what is going on there, but they're disrespecting that person because they know that they're not getting paid by that person. And so I decided to go home because the house was almost complete at that time. I decided to go home so that I can facilitate everything, so that I can see what is happening and all of those things. When I get home, the house, yes, it is almost completed, but there's a lot of things that needs to be done. I mean, the house is not fully cemented. The house is not painted. There's no tiles. There's no roofing. There's a lot of things are not there, right? Okay, cool, sharp. I go home. I just pack up my stuff with my partner. We just move and go home. And we did not expect to stay there for 1 month or over a month. So everything was just so stressful. I was so stressed and all of those things. And my grandmother was in Free State at my uncle's house because this was kind of a surprise. So we're surprising my grandmother with a new home, like a complete new home, whereby she did not even have any say about this house. She did not know about the color of the house, anything. There was nothing that she knows. She knew that the house is going to be refurbished, but she didn't know if there's gonna be this and this and that and that and that, right? Because this house is a fully complete house with cupboards, with tiles. Everything is completely changed. Aluminium doors, aluminium windows, and all of those things. So also, I'm not going to show you the inside of the house. I'm just going to show you the outside of the house, just to respect her on her side, because I did not ask her if I could take like videos or pictures inside to show my followers, and I respect that. I might have been the one who built the house, but the house is still not mine. It is her house, and that's a promise that I made a long time ago, that I want to build her a house that will be comfortable for her, that will be a little safe space for her. So we complete the house with ups and downs and stress and all of those things, it was just a difficult period for me at all. I've never started a house, especially in the Eastern Cape. I've never built a house from scratch in the Eastern Cape till the end. So the stress that came with that house was so much that I was at a breaking point. I felt like I was about to have a heart attack. Like I felt like I'm losing my mind with the house from when it was built, from the tiles, from everything. I was so sick of it, and I was regretting myself that, oh my gosh, why did I build this house? Because this is not my house. Why did I put myself through this? And also, why did I even use people from my actual hometown? I could have hired a company from Cape Town, because I know Cape Town companies that I've worked with in Cape Town, they are super professional, and people that I worked with, and a lot of people that I worked with in the Bundus, they were so unprofessional and so lazy. I'm not gonna say so lazy, let me not phrase it as lazy, but so entitled, and they did not see the need of getting the job done as soon as possible. They did not see the vision that you have, that this is a surprise house for an old lady, an 83-year-old lady. She has to come back home, because we only gave her a certain amount of period that you will come back home at this time, so that you will see your new house. Now the days are becoming longer and longer and longer. So this woman, this hustler, this my best friend, my grandmother, the hustler of the decades. So I said to myself, I want to make sure that this little safe space that I'm building here, it has to be completed before she comes back. So that's why I took a long hiatus. And obviously you will see the pictures, and I'm so happy. I'm so glad that I was able to actually pray about it and to actually manifest that I'm going to build a house for my grandmother. As much as I was raised in a poor background, today I can do things that I never in my entire life thought I would be able to do. Yes, I had dreams, I had all of those things, but the way that they are happening, and the way that they are coming to me, the blessings that I'm receiving in order for me to bless out, I'm just so grateful. I'm really grateful. On top of the house that we actually built, or I actually built, I was able to actually also put up a fence. So she did not know anything about the fence. I will just put a small clip. Maybe I will put a small clip here when she was coming, because I was so emotional. I was crying when I saw her face, when I saw her crying, and when I saw my family, my aunts, my uncles, everybody, because obviously we had a little ceremony, like we had a braai when we welcomed her home. So we had a braai, we slaughtered one sheep, and it was just a small little thing, like a family thing to welcome my grandmother. So when the car drove in, and the car is driving in a different way, because now there's a fence, and I just bought a land close by to my grandmother, and so I've got these two huge double lands that I purchased. And so now they are all fenced. And when they open the window, and my grandmother is crying, and I'm like, why are you crying? You're not gonna see the house. And my grandmother said, I didn't even know that there's a fence. No one told me. And I told them that to tell my grandmother that there will be a fence, because I was scared that she might have a cardiac arrest, suffer from heart attack or something, seeing a house, a different house, a different fence. Something is just totally different from what she always knew. So she said, you know what, I did not expect something like this in my entire life. I did not expect it, and I never thought any of my children would actually do something like this for me. And I said, you deserve it. You raised us. You did a lot, and I couldn't have done everything that I did without the help of my partner, without the help of some of my family members or my relatives. I couldn't have done it without them. They were there to help me, even if it was emotional support, because I needed a lot of emotional support. Even if it was little things that they did, it might not be financial assistance, but little things that they did, they assisted me wholeheartedly, because they believed that what I'm doing, I'm trying to make sure that our family house stays intact. And when I said at the beginning of this video, I think I am not really done with what I'm doing. I'm still planning a lot of things on that house. As much as now I'll be building and creating other projects with my new land, because I need to plant there. There's a lot of things that I need to do with my new land back at home in Stegspruit. I still want to do more for her. I want her to live more comfortable. She can live as comfortable as possible. I can live not comfortable, but I want to make sure that her last days, because she's so old that she anytime she might wake up or she might not wake up at all. So I want to make sure that she lives so comfortable that she forgets how difficult life was before, how difficult it was when it was raining and everything is raining in. I want her to look at the ceiling now and look at everything that we did, that she did, because if she was not there to raise me the way I am today, I wouldn't turn out to be the person that I am. So whatever she sees around in that house, whatever she sees when she's looking at that house, it is also her hard work on her side, because I am this grown here right now and I'm able to do those things because of her love, because of her teachings, because of her unconditional love. Let me put it that way, unconditional love, because she loved me and she still loves me right now. I hope you will forgive me for just going off like that, because there's so much to do than to just take a camera and put it there and talk everything that you want to talk. So I just took everything and put it in my suitcase and put it in my bag, and we drove to Stegspruit. It's like 1,000 and something kilometers away from Cape Town. So you can just imagine the stress of driving, the stress of all these things, and the house is not livable, so you have to live in the guest house and all of those things. It was just a chaos, but I'm glad right now that I've done it. And I'm glad that now I'm working towards bigger other things, and I feel like I will receive more blessings as well on my side, so that I can bless more outside. So and also I'd like to say I am so sorry to Lelo. My friend Lelo had this beautiful black carpet event. And at that time I was in the Eastern Cape and I was supposed to attend that black carpet event, and I had to cancel it completely. And I really profusely would like to say sorry to her. I'm so sorry, but I know that there are more things that will come on her side, and I will definitely attend all those things. Chomi, we are about to get into our videos as per normal now. Everything is out with me. I'm done. I'm fine now. It took me almost 33 years for me to actually sit on this chair and say, I did it, I made it, I did it. I built a house for my grandmother who raised me. Have a fantastic one. I'll see you on my next upload. Peace out.